Hello everybody, welcome to another game in the Demolition League 2015 Strat-O-Matic. We are at Series 2 now. The last video a couple days ago I did the Mets in Boston, which was matchup 1 of Series 2. Today we're doing matchup 2 of Series 2, the Philadelphia Phillies against the Seattle Mariners. Both teams come in 1-2 after dropping 2 of 3 to their opponents in the first series. So we do have the Phillies and the Mariners from Seattle, but of course in advance we're not doing the ballpark effects, so almost doesn't matter where we're playing. Let's get the score sheet in. I'm back upstairs in the man cave, so I've got to rearrange some things here to make sure that everything is showing up on camera the way I want it to. Looks like the score sheet is there, and of course I got dice tray over here, so I think I can put the score sheet over here a little more, give us some more room to put the cards in. Today's starter for Seattle is J.A. Happ, and on the 2015 season, J.A. Happ, or J-Happ, 4-6, 4.64 ERA. He'll be facing right-hander Severino Gonzalez from Philadelphia. Not very good, 3-3 with a 7.92 ERA in 7 starts. He gets the call early on. He won't last long, I don't imagine. He's going to probably have about 2 starts, and that's going to be about it. Another thing I did is for pitcher injuries, I went ahead of time. It may not show up on camera all that well, but in real light pencil, I put down the number that will affect him. Like in this case, J.A. Happ is a 612, so I put 12 here. So that tells me if I roll a 612, we check for injury. But it's so light I can erase it and won't really do anything to the cards. You may not be able to see it on camera, but I will certainly notify you what the number is as each pitcher steps up and joins the ball game as a new pitcher. We'll have all that in place. All right, got the starting lineups for today's game. And in Philadelphia, for this situation, on the rest rolls, all 3 guys that rolled for rest had to rest. So Grady Sizemore, Andre Blanco, and Darren Ruff all had to rest. Plus they had to fill in a DH, so they really were scrambling to get their guys in there. So here's the lineup I came up with: Galvez, Utley, Francoeur, Howard, Rupp, Ashe, Herrera, Hernandez, and Revere. And for Seattle, Austin Jackson had to be the one rested out of their rest rolls. He was normally the leadoff hitter, so I do have Franklin Gutierrez batting leadoff. Smith, Cano, Cruz, Seager, Morrison, Miller, Zunino, and Ackley in center field, because Gutierrez is not rated for center field. He's only rated for left and right. So I had to move Dustin Ackley to the center field spot to get that done. Got the defensive charts here, so defensive checks are called for. We'll have it. And of course the standard advanced and basic, or advanced chart for fielding and for base running and things like that. So I think we're about ready to go. Make sure I've got everything else in place. Make sure Tabby doesn't jump up here and try to get herself involved, which normally I'd be okay with that, but not on video. When I'm playing offline, I don't care if she jumps up here, so that doesn't bother me. But for video purposes, it kind of gets in the way, so to speak. So we are looking to get things going here in game number 17. It is Series 2, Matchup 2, Game 1, game number 17, played April 17th, 2015. Both teams are 1-2. Still have on the score sheet the at-bat by at-bat, but I may change that. I may go ahead and start doing 1 through 9 and doing the innings, because it might make the score sheet less cumbersome. That's a work in progress. I'll figure out if I want to do that or stick with what I've got. I do want to stick with the notebook paper though, because it saves me a lot of printing, having to print out score sheets. All right, so let me give a final look to make sure everything looks like it fits in okay, and I think it does. So we are ready to go in game number 17 of 270. Game 1 of Series 2, Matchup 2. And this is advanced only for anybody that's coming in late and hasn't seen the previous videos. This is advanced only. All right, so J Happ. The only thing I might do that's super advanced is I'll use a super advanced chart. I guess it's considered super advanced, I don't know. When there's an injury, I will be going to this chart here. It says super advanced injury chart, but I want to use that in this thing here. So that'd be the only thing that would be considered super advanced at all. All right, so Freddie Galvez will lead it off, switch hitter, batting, playing shortstop, and leading off against J.A. Happ, or J. Happ. 3-6 against a lefty. That's a fly to left. So Freddie Galvez is retired. One down. That'll bring up the second baseman, Chase Utley. 6-6 against a lefty. That's a strikeout for J. Happ. 2 quick outs, and that brings up the red-hot Jeff Francoeur. He's already hit about 4 or 5 home runs. I think it's 4 home runs. He's hitting over 500. He's really been blistering the ball to start the season. 6-7, and that's a ground ball. Second base X. Second baseman is Cano. And as we look at Cano, I can look and see he's a 3. So defensively, he is a 3. 3 and a 4 on the chart. Second baseman, a 3 and a 4 is a single 1 star. So Jeff Francoeur continues the hot hitting, gets a break on the defensive chart by sneaking it past Cano. He will not be held as an E stealer. And that'll bring up Ryan Howard. 5-8, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. Just missed a 5-9, would have been a home run chance, but didn't quite get it. That's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Phillies here in the first. We go to the bottom of the first. It's Philadelphia nothing, and the Mariners coming to bat against Severino Gonzalez. And leading things off will be Franklin Gutierrez, hitting leadoff in place of the rested Austin Jackson. 110, and he's going to round it to second. Utley is there, 1 away, and I think Gonzalez probably going to be hoping for a lot of results off the batter cards, because his pitcher card is not very good. Here's Seth Smith. 1-5, struck him out. So at least in the first 2 at-bats, he's catching a break with that. 2 up, 2 down, and here's Robinson Cano, second baseman. 4-8. This time he's got to go off his own card, and it's trouble. 1-8 is a triple. 9-20 is a single. That's a 7. It's a 2-out triple for Robinson Cano. So the first result off the pitcher card, and Gonzalez pays for it with a 2-out triple by Cano. I guess if you're going to give up a triple, 2 outs and the base is empty is the time to do it. And here's the DH, Nelson Cruz. 1-6. Good thing it wasn't 1-5. It'd be a straight up home run. 1-6 is a possible home run, but anything else other than a 1-2 is just a deep fly ball to end the inning. And he catches a break on a deep fly to left field to end the inning, and he pitches around that triple. So after 1 inning of play, it's no score between the Mariners and the Phillies. I'm recording this on Christmas Eve, 2021, so Merry Christmas out there to everyone. Probably going to post this on Christmas morning just to give people something to maybe watch if they're not ready to open their presents yet. Of course, it's not going to be live. It's going to be recorded, so you can watch anytime you want, but that's probably when I'm going to post it. Could post it tonight. I haven't decided yet, and maybe post the second game a few days later. We'll see how it plays out. Here's Cameron Rupp doing the catching. 4-5, that's a fly to right field. Seth Smith puts that away. 1 down for the third baseman. For the DH, Cody Asher. He usually plays third, but today he's playing as the DH, as he's not very good. 5-6, lefty on lefty. 5-6, it's a strikeout, so J. Happ took care of that. 2 down, and that brings up Odubel Herrera, another lefty. Of course, a lot of their right-handers, a couple of their a right-hander and a switch hitter had to rest, so they had to use some lefties against Happ. 4-5, and it struck him out. So those rest rolls not allowing the manager, Ryan Sandberg, to do what he wanted to do. Had his team been full strength, but that's just the way it is. And maybe it's silly to roll rest rolls. We're only in 4 games in, or 3 or 4 games in, but I just thought after game 1 I'd do it just to incorporate those rolls. But really and realistically, somebody wouldn't really be tired after just 3 games, you wouldn't think. But Got to start it sometime, so I figured why not. Gonzalez, 1-4 to Seegers, fouls it out to the catcher, Cameron Rupp. 1 down, as they're giving Carlos Ruiz the day off as well. So 1 away for Logan Morrison, first baseman. 5-6 against a left-hander. 1-10 is a single. Anything else, he lines it to Ryan Howard. And it's a 10, just sneaks off the tip of the glove of Howard and falls in for a base hit for Logan Morrison. He is a C stealer. He will be held. We're holding C stealers and up. Catcher arm for Cameron Rupp as the backup catcher. He is a -2 arm, surprisingly enough. So I think C stealer is a 1-13, held is a 10, and then -2 is an 8. So 1-8, not a good proposition. With only 1 out. With 2 outs, you might try it to get him in scoring position. With only 1 out, they're going to let shortstop Brad Miller have a hack. 3-10, and that's a ground ball shortstop. Plus, now, the runner was being held. Now, I've got to check because I think in just super advances when we worry about that. But the plus, I think, is only for the infield in advanced. I don't think that applies to super advanced. I mean, to the advanced, but I will check on that. Pause the video and get that straight. Okay, this is why we checked the rule book, because I was incorrect. According to this rule, 6.2, if the infield is in or a runner is being held, which is the case here, regard any ground ball with a ++ as a single 2 stars. That's in advanced. That's in basic. But when you look at the advanced section in that same area, I scroll over a couple pages in the advanced section. On advanced, it says the advanced side batter's card reading is abbreviated for ground ball ++. Use basic game rule 6.1. So that's what I'm doing. So in super, I was actually had it backwards. In super advanced, he would not be. That would not get through with the runner being held. But in advanced, it is. So in this case, Miller sneaks it past since Galvez was the one holding the runner as a shortstop against a left-handed hitter. So in this case, basic goes through 2 stars, and that puts runners at the corners. I told you I've been playing so much super advanced. Sometimes when you get back to advanced, you got to refresh your memory sometimes. All right, so runners on the corners and only 1 out. And Miller, a B stealer, will be held. I don't think it's going to go anywhere with runners on the corners. Don't run yourself out of an inning. Infield is playing back for the double play against Zunino. 2-5 for Zunino. 1 is a double. Anything else will be a sacrifice fly to center. And that's a sacrifice fly to center field by Zunino, and the Mariners are on the board 1-0 as Morrison comes in to score. RBI for Zunino. 1-0 Mariners. Runner at first is Miller. Now with 2 outs and a runner and him being the only runner at first, we might go ahead and try to steal and get him in scoring position. He is a B stealer, which means he starts as a 15, being held as a -2 makes him a 13, and then the -2 from Zunino, from Rupp makes him an 11. So 1-11, he's going to try it. And he's in there, stolen base for Miller. That does get him into scoring position with 2 outs. And now Dustin Ackley has a chance, and of course Miller will be held at second base. So here's Ackley. 4-10, and that's a fly ball to right field. We're ignoring that because that's for super advanced, but in advanced it's just a fly to right, and the inning's over. But the Mariners strike first and take a 1-0 lead after 2, and they've turned that over to Jay Happ. And Happ will be facing the third baseman, Cesar Hernandez, as he gets a start today. Normally it's second base, but with Utley at second base, you got to find places for Hernandez to play. So sometimes he plays short. Today he's playing third, and we're DHing Ashley because he's got a better defensive rating. Switch hitter batting right-handed, 2-6 against the lefty. 1-4 is a single. Anything else, he grounds out to Seager at third. That's a base hit, sneaks it past him. Leadoff single for Hernandez. He is an A stealer. As we check Zunino, the catcher, he's a -1 arm. A stealer's a 15, -2 for being held makes him a 13, -1 arm is a 12. 1 to 12, he's going to try it. They got to try to manufacture some runs. So 1 to 12, he'll make it. And he does. Stolen base for Hernandez. So he's in scoring position with nobody out. He will have to be held. And the number 9 hitter, Ben Revere, another lefty, is up. See what he can do. Now Tabby you stay down here. Get a 1-3 for Revere against a lefty. That's a ground ball third base. And with the B there, nobody's going to advance. It's just going to be a 5-3 ground out for 1 down. That'll flip the order over to Freddie Galvez, switch hitter. 5-11, switch hitter batting right-handed, so it's a 5-11. That's an in-home run chance against lefties, though. He's got weak power, but it would be a single, 2 stars, which would score the run on a 1 to 12. So 1 to 12, we got a RBI single. 13 to 20 is just a fly to left. And it's the 20, so it's just a deep fly to left. Runner has to hold. So with 2 down, Hernandez still at second base for Chase Utley, second baseman. 5-2, and that's another in-home run chance. Utley does have normal power this time. 1 to 8 would be a 2-run homer for Utley. 9 to 20 is just a deep fly. 15, deep fly. Another bad break for the Phillies on that D20 roll, and they come away empty-handed. So J Happ escapes a few problems and gets out of it, no problems, and unscathed with 0 runs, so still 1-0. Tabby just sitting there watching me, and I hate that feeling like you're being watched, like you're being stared at. So I'm trying to pet her and play at the same time, but we'll see. Franklin Gutierrez, 6-7, and that's a 1 to 5 double. Anything else will be a single. That's a 5, so it's a leadoff double for Franklin Gutierrez. And Gonzalez on his own card, he's paying the price. So Gonzalez, or Gutierrez rather, East Steeler will not be held at second base. Only runs at a 12, so they're not going to hold him on. Seth Smith, 2-6 for Seth Smith. It won't matter. 1 to 7 is a home run. 8 to 20 is a double. 12, it's another double. Back-to-back doubles. RBI double for Seth Smith. It's 2-0 Mariners. And Gonzalez may not last too much longer in this game, as now he's got to deal with Robinson Cano. And Seth Smith will be held at second. No, I'm sorry, he will not. He only runs at 11, so he will not be held either. 1-7, that is a strikeout. So big strikeout there. Notice it came off the batter card. That helped Gonzalez out. 1 down for Nelson Cruz, the DH. 2-12, that's a low max. Line up to third max. That's going to be a double play. Lines it to third. Hernandez fields it, and before Smith can get back, he fires over to Utley for a 5 unassisted 5-4 double play to end the inning and minimize the damage to just 1 run. So it could have been worse. As it is, it's 2-0 Mariners. And J Happ enjoying this run support, facing the red-hot Jeff Francoeur, who did single his first time up. 1-7, won't do it that time. He grounds it to short. And Brad Miller all over it, 1 down. That'll bring up Ryan Howard. Lefty on lefty matchup. 2-8 for Howard. Struck him out. 2-9 would have been a home run chance, but 2-8. He strikes out for the second time. That'll bring up Cameron Rupp, the catcher. 5-9 against the right-hander. 1 to 11 is an in-home run chance. He does have normal power, so 1 to 11 is a home run for Rupp. 12 to 20 is a double. And it's gone. Cameron Rupp got the nod over Ruiz as the catcher in this game, and it paid off for the Phillies as they get a home run from Cameron Rupp and cut the lead to 2-1 here in the 4th. That'll bring up the DH Cody Ashe. 3-11 for Ashe. He grounds it to short. Miller is there. Inning's over, but the Phillies chip into that lead thanks to the Cameron Rupp homer. Go to the bottom of the fourth. It's 2-1 now in favor of the Mariners. Gonzalez now on a short leash, as they do have plenty of bullpen pitchers ready to go if they need them. Here's Kyle Seager. 3-11 for Kyle Seager against the right-hander. 3-11 is a fly ball to right. One down. That triangle is only for super advanced, so no worries there. One away for Logan Morrison. 3-7 for Morrison, and that's a single. So 1-out single for Morrison. He's aboard. He will be held, but he won't try to steal. And that brings up Brad Miller. 1-6 for Miller. 1-9 is a homer. 10-20 is a double. Double for Brad Miller. Morrison was being held, but he wasn't going to try to steal. So as being held, he runs at a 13, being held as a 12. The double is assumed to go to center. And the center fielder arm is Herrera. He's a +1. So that negates the holding. So that turns Mr. Morrison to a 13. They're going to send him 1-13. And he's in there safely. So an RBI double for Brad Miller. His second base hit of the game. Single the first time, doubles this time, and the Mariners get that run right back. Lead it 3-1. Phillies bullpen is now loose. Got some activity down there, as they do have a right-hander loosening in their bullpen. And that's going to be, let's see who that's supposed to be down there. Looks like it is Justin DeFreitas. The right-hander is loosening in the Philly bullpen, just in case Gonzalez runs into more issues. As it is, 1 in, 1 on, and 1 out. Here's Zanino. Miller at second base will be held. He runs at a 14, so they will hold him. 4-10, and that's a strikeout. Big strikeout for Gonzalez. That's out number 2. And that brings up the number 9 hitter, Dustin Ackley. 5-8 against a lefty is a ground ball, second base X. Second baseman for the Phillies, Utley. Not very good. His better days are behind him. He's a 4. 4-1, that's terrible. 4-1 as a second baseman. That is a single, 2 stars. And that will score Miller with another run. Mariners now lead it 4-1. Poorest defense out of the Phillies, as Utley, who's well past his prime, couldn't get to that. Ackley will not be held as a D-stealer, so no worries there. Gonzalez, if he doesn't get Gutierrez here, he may be lifted. 1-3, it's ground ball to short, so he does get through the inning. But I think they're going to cap Gonzalez here at 4 innings. And 19 batters faced. I think they've seen enough of him. So that's going to do it for Gonzalez. And DeFreitas will be the new pitcher coming on. Or they might go to a lefty with these lefties coming up. I think they might actually switch over. And we may have an Elvis sighting, as Elvis Arajo, the lefty, is going to be in for the Phillies to pitch the 5th. So Arajo is going to be the new pitcher. We'll write him in. And he's got a 9 for his injury, so he's got to be careful. Roll a 6-9, he is subject to fatigue. So he is a 9, whereas the other ones were 12s. All right, so we go to the top of the 5th, 4-1 ball game. Jay Happ getting some nice run support. Here's a double Herrera. 3-3 against the lefty. Ground ball right back to Mr. Happ. 1 away. Brings up Cesar Hernandez, switch hitter. 5-4, switch hitter batting right-handed. 5-4 is a fly ball center field X. Center fielder is Dustin Ackley. And Ackley, as a center fielder, is only a 4. He's really kind of playing out of position. 4 and a 15, he might get away with it. 4 and a 15, nope, he does not. 4 and a 15 is a single, 2 stars. So couldn't quite get it. That's the price you pay having a lesser than average center fielder out there. Hernandez gets the ball to drop in. He's aboard with 1 out. He did steal his previous time on base, but you're down 4-1. I don't think you want to run yourself out of an inning, so he will stand pat. He will be held. Here's Revere. That's a 2-5 for Revere, and that's a 1-9 double. Anything else will be a single. 2 stars both ways. That's a single 2 stars, so runners are at the corners. And maybe the Phillies have something cooking. Revere is an A stealer, so he will definitely be held. The question is, do you run him and try to get 2 guys in scoring position, or do you run yourself out of an inning potentially? He is an A stealer, starts at a 15, -2 for being held is a 13, and then Zunino with his -1 arm. So then you're looking at a 1-12. I don't like the rolls on those D20s, so we're going to hold him there. Runners are going to stay at the corners with 1 out for Freddie Galvez. 4-4. Ground ball third base X. Third base is Kyle Seager. And Kyle Seager checks in as a 2. 2 and a 7 at third base. Goes to his error check. And as a defensive third baseman, he is an E16. E16 and a 5. E16 and a 5 is a 1 base error. 1 base error on Seager that will score the run. And he will actually get credit for an RBI because you can never assume a double play. So it is an E6. And Revere will take second base. So that makes it a 4-2 game. Runners at first and second with only 1 out. And Chase Utley, the batter. So sloppy play there by the Mariners. And right now, Seager is saying, if you're playing super advanced, I probably would have caught that. But we're not, sorry. 3-8. 3-8, ground ball second base A. It's going to end the inning on a 4-6-3 double play. To end the inning, Phillies do get 1 to chip away and make it 4-2, but they could have had a lot more, but the twin killing took care of that. And we go to the bottom of the 5th, 4-2 Seattle. New pitcher for the Phillies is Elvis Arajo. So Elvis has entered the building. He is 2-1 with a 3.38 ERA and no saves. And he is in there to face the lefties that are coming up. Seth Smith, Robinson, Cano, Cruz, and Seager. So 3 and Morrison. So almost like 4 of the next 5 are lefties. So here's Seth Smith. And remember, 6'9" is a potential injury. We got a 6'8", so he just missed it. 6'8" against a lefty is a 1-14 single. Anything else, 15-20, he lines to Utley. And that's a base hit for Seth Smith, leadoff single. Smith will not be held as an E stealer. Here's a Robinson Cano, another lefty on lefty. 3-10 against the lefty, and that's a 1-17 home run. So this could be bad news. Elvis might leave the building early. 1-17, it's gone. It is gone. Robinson Cano with a big blast. 2-run shot. It is now 6-2 Mariners. And they are finding the Phillies pitching a lot more easier to hit than the Mets pitching was. That's for sure. Especially when they deal with DeGrom. But they're finding they're going pretty easy right here. Here's Nelson Cruz, 6'4", ground ball third base X. That's Hernandez. He's a 3 at third base. 3 and a 12 goes to his error check once again. And Hernandez is an E37, so not very good. E37 and an 8. E37 and an 8 is a 1 base error. So E5. Each team now, I believe, with 1 error. So E5 just keeps the adding insult to injury. Cruz will not be held as the runner. Brings up Kyle Seager. 2-11 for Seager, and that's a base hit to right field. Cruz Doesn't run well, so they will just, even though it's hit to right field, they will just hold him there. Plus Francoeur's got a pretty good arm. So they will hold him there. Runners at first and second. Still nobody out. Elvis has not gotten anybody out. He is now tired. So bullpen activity again. DeFreitas, who was warming up earlier, is tossing once again the Philly bullpen. 4-3 against Morrison. That's a fly ball, right field B. Chance for Cruz to move up if he wants to take a chance. He runs at an 11. The right fielder arm, Francoeur, is a -3, makes it an 8. So 1 to 8 he can move up. 9 to 19 he will hold. And 20 he is out. So he will have to hold there. He cannot move up, as it was not hit deep enough, and Francoeur's got a good arm. So 1 away for Brad Miller, and they're going to keep Arajo in here to face the lefty, even though he's tired. 6-7, and that's a walk, and that's going to be it for Arajo. He is done. He couldn't get through the inning, and he's going to leave with the bases loaded and 2 runs already in. So he goes 2/3 of an inning, and he faces 6 batters. And DeFreitas is now in to see what he can do to try to stem the tide and keep the Mariners from making this a laugher, if it's not already a laugher. It's DeFreitas now 0-2 with a 5.51 ERA and no saves. So he's in there to face Zunino with the bases loaded and 1 out. They're playing for the double play because Zunino is a good double play candidate. So they are playing back for the double play. DeFreitas is a 12 for his injury ratings. Written real lightly right here. Don't know how well it shows up on camera, but he is a 6.12 for a injury check. 1-5 for Zunino, struck him out. Out number 2, so big strikeout there by DeFreitas, and now he just needs to get Dustin Ackley to get out of the inning. Hold the Mariners to the 2 runs. 2-12, and that's a walk. That's going to force in a run. That run is charged to Arajo, and it's unearned because of the error originally on Hernandez to begin with. No RBI given. Well, it will be an RBI given, my bad. He does get the RBI. Another run is in. That's what I get for trying to write the number in advance. That is now a 3. I'm not going to write it in there now because I might have to change it to a 4 or 5 if it keeps going. Bases are still loaded with 2 outs for Franklin Gutierrez. 4-3, and that's Danger Will Robinson. 1-13. He does have normal power, so 1-13 is a grand salami, and that would definitely put this game on ice. 20, so they got a break there. Instead of the grand salami, it merely is a deep fly to left to end the inning. Would have been a sac fly, but that's the 3rd out. So inning's over. 3 runs come in. It is a 7-2 ball game as we go to the 6th. And this is J.A. Happ's fatigue inning here in inning number 6. Keep an eye on that. Francoeur, 2-8 for Francoeur, struck him out. So Francoeur definitely hurting the average in this game. He's only 1 for 3, so his average is going to drop. Here's Ryan Howard. 5-3. It's a fly ball left field X. That is Gutierrez. And Gutierrez is a 3 for a left fielder. 3-12 is probably an error check, and it is. And on his error rating, he is an E5. E5 and a 6. E5 and a 6 is a fly ball B, so not all error checks come up to be errors. It's a fly to left, 2 down. Gonna bring up Cameron Rupp. He homered his last time up. 6-6, and this time he's gonna pop it up to short. Miller's got it. Innings over. 1, 2, 3 innings. So Happ looking to go 7 innings perhaps. Seems to be firmly in control. Go to the bottom of the 6th. DeFreitas still out there. He only faced 3 batters, so he's still good to go. Seth Smith leading it off. 5-6, and that's a strikeout. He's not tired, so the strikeout is good. One down. That'll bring up Robbie Cano. Can't get a close game in these. It's been a lot of blowouts here lately. Kind of disappointing, but that's just the way it goes. 6-9, but the Freitas is a 6-12, so 6-9 is okay, except for the result, which is a 1-5 homer. Anything else is a double. So 1-5, and Robbie Cano will go deep again. 9, he has to settle for a double. And now we are definitely on what would be a very first for me ever, and that's a cycle alert, because Cano's got a triple, a homer, and a double. All he needs is a single, the easiest thing left, and he's going to have at least one more at bat. You would think he'd have one more at bat. So he's got that chance to get the cycle. Have to keep an eye on that. Would be the first time I've ever had a cycle in any game. Had no hitters. I had a no-hitter in History Maker Baseball with Ferguson Jenkins. So I've never had a cycle before. Here's Nelson Cruz. Cano not being held with the score being what it is. 6-3. It's a ground ball pitcher X. The Freitas is a 4, so not very good. 4 and a 15 will go to an error check, but he's not that good there either. E36. So E36 is about as high as you can get for an error. It's a 7. E36 and a 7 is a 1-base error. So E1, yet another error turned in by the Phillies and their defense. That'll move Cano to third base. Runners at the corners. Of course, Cruz will not be held. And here's Kyle Seager. Phillies looking to turn the double play. 2-4. 2-4 for Seager. Fly ball left field B question mark, so potentially could come in to score on sac fly. Cano runs at a 13. Left fielder arm is Revere. And Revere is a +3, so they're definitely going to send him. So 13 plus 3 is a 16. So 1-16 he scores. 17-20 he's out. He's in there. Sacrifice fly to left field by Seager. And that brings home Cano. Yet another run. It is now 8-2 rather. And Logan Morrison, the batter. Cruz at first and 2 down. 2-6. And that's a walk, so the inning continues. Cruz will cruise on to second base via the walk of the other runner. So now Brad Miller is up. Nobody's being held on. 3-11, and 3-11 is another walk. So the bases are now loaded, and I believe the Freitas is now fatigued. So what do you want to do? Do you want to try to get him out of the inning? You trust him to face Zunino, who's not a very good hitter, and trust he won't find his dots. I think they're going to stick with him and see if he can get Zunino out. 2-5. One's a double. Anything else, he will get Zunino out on a fly to center. And he does. Fly to center ends the inning. So a run comes in to make it 8-2 at the end of 6. Like I said, not exactly a close game I was looking for, but you never know what you're going to get when you roll these games. That's the thing. He does end up facing 10 batters because he started with Zunino and he ends with Zunino. So we'll have another pitcher coming in for the Phillies in the 7th. Right now, Jay Happ's going to come back out. The Mariners do have activity in their bullpen. They do have right-hander Danny Farquhar. He is loosening in the bullpen. So in case Happ runs into trouble, they will go on to Farquhar for some relief. Right now, Happ's okay. He has no knocks against his point of weakness in the 6th inning, so he's going to try it here. I'm capping all starters at 7 for their first starts of the year, so most he can go is 7. This will be his last inning regardless. 1-8 for Ashe against him. He's going to pop it up to short. So Ashe pops it up to Miller. 1 away for Odubel Herrera. For 7, and that's a single for Odubel Herrera. He's aboard. He will be held, but down 8-2. They're not going to try anything. They will go to Cesar Hernandez, who is 2 for 2 in this start at third base. 110, and he's 3 for 3. It's a single to left. And they're going to play station to station with the score being what it is. They're not taking any chances on the base paths. Now, Happ starting to run into a little bit of problems. Whoops, wrong team, my bad. Got the wrong stack out. It's Revere up, not Ackley. So Revere is up. 1-6, that's a ground ball, shortstop B, fielder's choice. 6-4. And that'll send Herrera to third base. Runners at the corners, 2 down. And I think they're going to go ahead and pull Jay Happ. They're going to go ahead and let him come out so that the fans can give him a round of applause. So Happ's going to go 6 2/3. And he's going to face 27 batters. And Danny Farquhar coming in. 1-8, 5.12 ERA and a save, but with the score 8-2, this is the kind of game you bring him in when it's kind of out of hand. And if he gets into trouble, they got better relievers that will come in very quickly. Right now it's Freddie Galvez who will turn around and bat left-handed. Bases loaded, runners at the corners and 2 down. Revere not being held because of the score. 1-5 for Galvez, struck him out, and that's the end of the inning. So Farquhar does his job. Phillies get nothing. We go to the 7th inning stretch. It is 8-2 favor of the Mariners. And since we're at the 7th inning stretch, I will go ahead and stretch myself and stand up a bit. We're at the 41-minute mark. Again, not getting those 35-minute Swift games with the score being what it is. And they're going to go to, let's see who they want to use in the bullpen. They are going to go to, they've already used one lefty, so they really don't want to use another one. So they're going to go to Luis Garcia, a right-hander, 4-6, 3.51 ERA. They don't want to use Giles or Papelbon or Diekman because of the score. They want to save them for the next game so they'll be fresh in the series the rest of the way. Garcia has a 0 error rate, so he cannot be injured. And he'll be facing Ackley, Gutierrez, and Smith here in the top of the 7th. 8-2 favor the Mariners. 2-6. 2-6 is a ground ball to first. Ryan Howard steps on the bag himself. 1 down, and that brings up Gutierrez. 5-12, and that is a single to center field for Gutierrez. Gutierrez will not be held. Brings up Seth Smith. 1-8 for Smith. That's a ground ball to second. That's a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. So nicely done by Garcia. He may very well come back out and pitch another inning. We'll have to wait and see. Farquhar, forgot to write his name in over here. He is a 12 for his injury check. So Farquhar. Let's see what he's got a 2, so he's going to come back out again to start the inning. In fact, he only faced 1 batter, so obviously he's not tired yet. Here's Chase Utley. 5-8. Ground ball second base X. That is Cano. And Robbie Cano's a 3. That's 20, so that's a good play for Robbie Cano. 1 away. Cano's still thinking about that cycle. He's going to lead off to the bottom of the 8th. All he needs is a single to get the cycle. Here's Francoeur. 3-12, and that's a fly to left. Out number 2 for Ryan Howard. 6-5, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. We look at Miller, the shortstop, Brad Miller. He's a 3. 3-19 is good, and that's going to end the inning. So Farquhar goes an inning and a third, gets all 4 batters out that he faces, and they'll turn to somebody else to pitch the 9th. All right, Garcia will be back out. He only faced 3 batters, so he's still good to go. And he's going to face Robbie Cano. As a reminder, Cano tripled in the first, or his first at bat. He struck out his second at bat, then he homered, and he doubled. So a single, and I will have my first ever cycle. Could Cano be the one to get it to me? Probably not, but you never know. 6-4. That's a fly ball center field X. Now, center fielder is Herrera. If he doesn't get to this, this could fall for a single. Herrera. Defensively, Herrera is a 3. So a 3 for a center fielder. And a 5. 3 for a center fielder and a 5 is a single 2 stars, and Robbie Cano has done it. Cano hits for the cycle. So at least something came out of this game. My first ever cycle. I've never had one before. And Robbie Cano is the one to do it. And on all things, a failed X check. How about that? But you'll take it. Here's Nelson Cruz. And you know what? With the score being what it is, they're going to let somebody else off the bench hit for Cruz just to give him an at-bat. Somebody doesn't get a whole lot of at-bats. So we're going to go with Willie Bloomquist. He will take over as DH. So Bloomquist is going to hit just to give some bench players some at-bats and save some at-bats for Nelson Cruz. 6-7 for Garcia. Ground ball second base X. And the second baseman is Utley, who's a 4. 4 and a 14 as a second baseman. 4 and a 14 is a ground ball C. And that's going to make the play, but Cano will take second base. So Cano's at second base. He will not be held for Kyle Seager. So if nothing else came out of this game, I got my cycle. So I guess that's something. 6-6 strikeout. He's not tired yet, so the strikeout is good. 2 down for Logan Morrison. 5-9. That's a single 2 stars. That'll score a run. Now Garcia is tired, but they're going to try to stick it out and let him. They don't want to use another pitcher. They don't want to burn another pitcher. Morrison, C-Stealer, with the score being what it is, he's not even going to be held. It's 9-2, but they're not going to do anything with that. They're not going to hold him. Miller, 1-6. Ooh, that's dangerous. 1-9 is a homer. 10-20 is a double. And that's gone. Brad Miller, a 2-run shot. And they're just going to let Garcia be the sacrificial lamb. And if he gets shelled, he gets shelled. They can't afford to use any more pitchers right now. So that makes it now 11-2. And Zunino, one of the few guys that hasn't gotten a hit yet. He's 0 for 3. Did have a sac fly. 1-7. He will ground to third to end the inning. So 3 runs are in. I think it's okay to put the X there. I think that's a pretty safe bet that Phillies won't come back and need that. So we go to the top of the 9th. And unfortunately, it's an 11-2 game. So now the Mariners will bring out some schlub off their bullpen that they don't want to put in a pressure situation. So who might they bring in? Who is their worst relief pitcher in theory that's in the bullpen? And they've got a lot of good ones. Don't have that many bad ones, actually. Most of their guys are pretty good. Let's see here. Wow, a lot of them are pretty good. Actually, the guy with the highest ERA is Fernando Rodney, who's like their closer, so I'm not going to use him. So we'll go ahead and go. Even though he's got a pretty good track record, I'm going to go ahead and use Mark Lowe. And he's a 12 on his injury. Mark Lowe. No relation to Rob. Rob exclamation point or Rob Lowe. So here is Cameron Rupp. He will lead things off. I could pinch it with some of the guys arrested, but with the score being what it is, what's the point? Here's Rupp. 2-7 for Rupp. And it's ground ball to first. Since it's a C, we'll call it a 3-1. As Morrison fields it, throws the low covering, 1 down. Here's Cody Ashe. 6-2 against the lefty, and that's a home run chance. 1-9. He has normal power. 1-9, and it's gone. It is gone. It's a 9. It's advanced, so we're not doing robbing home runs or anything. That's going to be a good home run, and that does give the Phillies their third run. It's now 12-3. So the Phillies at least got a field goal out of it. Here is Herrera. 2-7 for Herrera. It's a ground ball to short. 2 down, and now the last man up is Hernandez, third baseman. 2-9 for Hernandez. Struck him out, and that's the way the ball game ends. Phillies go down 12-3 to the Mariners. Winning pitcher is A.J. Happ. He is 1-0. Losing pitcher is Gonzalez. He is 0-1. Obviously no save involved. But the big story was the cycle from Robinson Cano. First ever cycle for me. I'm sure other people have had plenty of cycles out there, but this is my first. And it was captured on video, which is a cool thing. All right, so let's check the hits for both teams. Phillies get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hits I've got for the Phillies. I'm not going to write left on base. That's irrelevant at this point. For the Mariners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 hits I've got them for unofficially. So that's the unofficial gory details. The Mariners improved to 2-2. Even the record at 2-2, Phillies dropped to 1-3. Seattle wins at 12-3. 12 runs, 16 hits, and an error for the Mariners. 3 runs, 8 hits, and 2 errors for the Phillies. Winning pitcher J.A. Happ is 1-0. Losing pitcher Severino Gonzalez is 0-1. And of course, the big thing was the cycle from Robbie Cano. That was matchup number 2 and game number 1. Matchup number 3 and the next game on the video, stuck together here, will be the Cincinnati Reds taking on the Houston Astros in Houston. It'll be Lorenzen taking on Feldman, and with the injury to the center fielder Hamilton, they did bring up Brendan Bosch. He's been added to the roster, so he will be in the game for the Reds when that time comes up, but that's the next game on the schedule. But the man of the hour, at least for me anyway, to give me something I never experienced, is Robbie Cano. He got the cycle. He only had 1 triple in the 2015 season, but we got it here. I believe it was probably off of the pitcher card, if I'm not mistaken. I have to go back and look at it and see how he got this triple. Probably came off the pitcher card, but certainly a lot of doubles and home runs to make that worthwhile. So Mariners win it in a laugher, 12-3. There you have it there for the Demolition League. And of course, matchup number 3 is going to be Cincinnati at Houston. Matchup 4 will be Tampa Bay at San Francisco, and matchup 5 will be Arizona at Cleveland. Again, all of these are interleague games. We get to matchup 3 or series 3, then we switch over and have a couple that play within the same league. So that's going to do it from here. Robbie Cano is the man. I'll pay homage to Robbie Cano and his cycle. And until next time, wish you all a Merry Christmas and enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. I'll see you all down the road.